it's time to turn things up. This pre-workout combination of Expedite and Aerobatine is the Fat Attack Stack from Snack. I usually take both about 15 to 20 minutes prior to my workout. It's the perfect time to get after it.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Viegas being joined with Derrick James here in Las Vegas. And Derrick, I'm going to tell you something funny. You text me right in the middle of my workout. I'm like squeezing out a second chest workout, and you told me, hey, you in the media room. And I'm like, nah, I got to go because I've been texting to talk to you.
But I think the thing was, I didn't want you to think that I was putting you off. So I was like, man, listen, this is some time, free time, because we're going to go to the gym and train, but we didn't go. So I was like, I'm going to put it in, I'm going to get it in now, because you're like, man, hey, we can do it now. So because we were talking over there, you know, you're like, I'm trying to get with you, so I didn't want to seem like I was putting you off, man. That's it.
Well, I appreciate that, Derrick. This weekend, you know, we're seeing Manny Pacquiao now face Yordenis Ugas. What do you make of you not being able to corner Errol this Saturday night, and just overall your thoughts now of the situation that happened?
I think it's, you know, man, it's life, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that when you make plans, life happens. I mean, so this is a situation that, hey, unforeseen. You wouldn't have thought it could happen, but, or you would hope that something like this wouldn't happen, but you get injured, you know, they didn't approve him. And so I think that the wording is everything. Errol Spence did not pull out of a fight. The commission did not approve him to fight. They're two different things, you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's where the confusion and everything is, or it's all in the wording. And the reality of it is the wording was wrong. Whoever said whatever, it's like you couldn't get approved.
Yeah, so much has been said about what's happened, and there's a lot to divulge in there. First off, how is Errol doing?
He's doing better, man. I think that knowing him, you know, we could watch a fight would be on Saturday night, and I tell my wife, I said, I know he's going to text me in the morning, say he wants to work out. Because when he sees other people fight, it just makes him want to fight more. So, you know, so I think that with this, I don't think this is going to be a good one for him. He may not even watch the fight. I haven't talked to him about it. We don't just go into detail about stuff, but I just know the type of individual he is, and that he may not watch the fight because there's nothing he can do. This is one thing that's out of his control. So, I mean, normally, like I said, on a Saturday, which Sunday's our off day, we work 6 days a week, but I get a text from him on like Sunday night or Sunday morning, I want to work out. So it's like, that's how he feels when he sees other people fight. So I don't know how he would feel to see the guy that he was supposed to fight. It's going to be very difficult, I think.
How has he been handling just taking everything and not getting this opportunity and then dealing with the injury that happened?
I think that, I mean, he's not a big talker. So, I mean, I never knew about all the other stuff, meeting this person and that person. I knew about him meeting with the commissioner in Vegas. And so when he didn't, or when they said the fight can't go on, he called me and told me right after he left the office, the doctor's office or whatever. So, and then we got on the plane the next day, and we didn't talk about it. I mean, it's like you know what the reality of it is, so there's nothing to say about it. I mean, I think you have to be able to deal with it within yourself. He has to be able to deal with it within himself, and I think that you look at missed opportunities, but at the same time, I think that if he looks at his life, he can see himself getting certain opportunities like this back. You know what I mean? So it's like, because you can't say that he can't do anything he wanted to do, because he survived certain aspects of life, and he had a car accident, he had these things. So I think that he had the ability to possibly get something like this back again, because I think that he's fighting the winner, and so we'll see.
With the injury, you told me earlier that they didn't find it at the beginning, or if they had done the examination at the beginning, they wouldn't have found it.
Right. Yeah. Because what happens, I mean, so they send him the paperwork, and he gets it done normally at the last minute, right? Which I think that they may probably change the protocol of it, because many fighters may have this issue and not know it and still fight, and after the fight may lose their eyesight, or may not even know it then until it gets so bad that it's too far gone. So I think that he waited to the last minute before we to get here to do it, and by him doing that, that's how he found out. You know what I mean? Because had he done it in June when they sent him the paperwork, he would have never known. He would have passed it then, and he would have fought with it, and after the fight, he would have been messed up.
Did he at all mention he was having trouble with the eye? Like, a lot of people are trying to figure out, like, okay, how did it happen?
No, I mean, no, it's just, he never. He's not a complainer. I mean, he's not that type of guy. I mean, that he says, well, I have a high threshold for pain. That's what he'll say, like, you know. So he never complains about it. If it was an issue, he didn't say anything. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's just the person he is, man. He like, crazy stuff happens. He fights with a whole lot of stuff. And that's why when people say that about the pull-out deal, I'm going to write a book one day and I'm going to tell, and they're going to be like, what? Just going to be for real what they hear. Like, how he pushes through stuff and how he works through stuff. I mean, but most fighters do work through things. It's not like, that's the thing about it, like, most fighters are injured, hands, the shoulders, the elbows, knee. I mean, most guys go through fights with injuries. I mean, so it's not like, so that's why I believe they're really true warriors, because most guys play hurt, right? But I think when you get to something like that with an eye and possibly going blind or something, that's something totally different. That affects you for the rest of your life. I mean, once the fight is over, so I'm okay, I can go to the doctor, get it healed, fixed. This is something that if you let it go too far gone, it can't come back from that.
I'll touch on the craziness that people have been saying online about the pullout and all that. But in terms of the eye, do you feel that's like a lingering injury from the car accident, or was it something you think from like hard sparring?
I don't know about that. I don't think that it was that. It could have, because had it happened during the car accident, he would have already been messed up because he sparred a lot. You know what I mean? So like the rattling of the head, whatever. I mean, getting hit in the eye. Whatever it took to get it like that could happen every day. So that's why I think that it wasn't something that happened that long ago, because had it happened that long ago, I mean, he still sparred. Now, Danny really didn't hit him, so that wouldn't have been a problem, but I'm just saying, in the sparring, you get hit in sparring. I mean, that's what boxing is. You get hit in boxing. So I think that it would have already shown the effects or been that far gone before then.
Was the sparring really intense for this Pacquiao camp? Like, did he really go through the ringer?
No different than anything else. I mean, if you look at it like this, man, boxing is boxing. People get hit in boxing. I mean, did he get hit? Yeah. But did he hit him? Yeah. I mean, so it's like, I mean, it happens. I mean, I think that nobody, now, they show one video clip of Errol sparring. They didn't show the video clip of Pacquiao getting dropped. That happened, right? I mean, so we didn't blow it up. It's like, okay, it happens. You get hit with a shot. See what I'm saying? So it's like, in boxing, you get hit with a particular shot, or you get hit with some shots. What does that mean? Nothing. You keep pushing on. You move on. It's a done deal or whatever. But I don't know, man. Now, sparring was no different than the other. I mean, we normally spar heavier guys than bigger guys. This is the first camp that he brought in guys. Well, no, this is the second one, but he brought in guys specifically like the individual that he's fighting against. Because normally if you fight a left-handed guy, we still would spar right-handed guys. Only difference, I would change up on the mitts and hold the mitts from a left-handed perspective. But this is the only time that, one of the second or third times where he really brought in other guys, and he had a chef, and he did a lot of things for this training camp right here. Just like Manny made different sacrifices, Errol made a lot more sacrifices also. So that's why it's like, it's unfortunate that it happened, and it's asinine for anybody to think that he would. How do you duck a fight when you ask for the fight? What are you talking about? Like, you got what you wanted. So, I don't know.
Yeah, touching on that topic, a lot of people but the crazy conspiracies out there that like he pulled out of the fight on purpose, because I think part of it, like the sparring clip that showed up on the PBC on Fox YouTube channel, and that he was having a hard time in sparring.
Did Manny Pacquiao pull out of the fight? for getting dropped. Just like Errol didn't pull out a fight for getting hit 2 or 3 times by some guys. He even, listen, man, he even worked harder. He even pushed harder. Because that's the type of guy he is. Who cares about, it doesn't even matter, man. You know, because it's like these insignificant people talking about something they have no idea about, you know, so, hey, whatever.
Bernard Hopkins did a few interviews in which he said that he wants to see proof and that he questioned if it was really a real injury. What's your take when you hear someone like Bernard, who, you know, he's a Hall of Famer, he's a legend, he's a fighter, says something like that?
I mean, I had no take on it. I think that the closest reference to reality is the individual self. And I think that when you think a particular way, you can't see yourself being the only person in the world thinking like that. So you think everybody's like you because you think you're normal and you're regular, right? So if he pulls something like that, maybe he pulls something like that. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't imagine anybody else being any different than you. So if he thinks Errol did something tricky, maybe he would have done something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's just an assumption, but it's a reality because the closest reference to anybody else is yourself. So that's your reality. Like a kid, like I said earlier, kid who has abusive parents, he thinks everybody's parents are abusive, right? He thinks every father's abusing the mother because the father was abusing his mother, right? So he can't see anything different than his own reality. So for somebody to say something like that, maybe he can't see anything different than his reality. And his reality is maybe he would have done something like that. But why would you do something like that? The biggest fight of your career, you make the most money you've ever made, on the largest stage you ever made, to be able to make history and to continue to build your legacy, right? Why would you talk about legacy? And it shows the kind of individual he is because he fought after having an accident, after fighting a tough fight, right? Well, first of all, he beats Mikey, who everybody thought he was going to lose against.
No, wait. I never picked him against him. Come on. And I scored it on the telecast, and I gave Mikey one round.
Let me keep talking.
Okay.
Then you got him, okay, after that he fights Sean in another tough fight, and he said, okay, he has an accident a couple days after that. He said, I want to fight Danny. Coming straight from, I don't need a warm-up fight. So why do you fight that guy, right? At the top, and he's at the peak fitness, right? And he's never really, think about this, Danny's lost, but he's never really been beat, right? Because to be beat is to be beat up. Dominated, right? He's lost. But to come back from an accident like that on a great, phenomenal performance and to beat a top 5 welterweight like that, right? Why would you pull out of a fight fighting a guy who's 42 years old, no disrespect to his age, but at the same time, he hadn't fought in 2 years. So why do you pull out of that fight? You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't even make sense because you choose very tough opponents because most boxers are warriors, right? So they believe that particular things about themselves. And for Pacquiao to take a fight like Errol Spence, he believes something about himself. That's what I told people. He knows something about himself. But for Errol to take a fight against Pacquiao, he has to know something about himself. But you talk about a guy who's been Olympian, been world champ for like the past 5 years. What are you talking about? Come on, man. If Pacquiao was injured or hurt, we wouldn't, he got hurt. What are you talking about? It's an injury. It's professional sports. Things happen in professional sports. No.
Pacquiao, I think you'd get some, not solace, but you would agree, you know, Pacquiao doesn't believe it. He says, like, no, Errol's a fighter. Like, he wants to fight. Like, why would he waste a whole training camp to go ahead and do something like that?
All the money he spent, why would you, like, think about this? If you would have put out a fight, you could have put out a fight 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. Why wait till we're in Vegas, checked into the hotel, staying here, right? Flies the chef back. So he's got the cooking, sparring partners, everything. Why would he do it now? What are you talking about? I guess this is like when you zone in even more. Why would you do it? I mean, I don't get it. You know,
People are crazy. It's a plain and simple thing. You know, people are crazy. In terms of the future, have they told you like how long it'll be for Errol to make a recovery, and is he going to be able to make a full recovery?
I mean, he should be able to make a full recovery, I'm sure. But I wasn't in the room. I mean, I wasn't even. I only go off what they told me, and I haven't even talked about it. Because see, we don't. When you're dealing with a reality, we don't need to talk about it because we know. I don't care how long it takes. I just care that he's okay, right? I just care that he's okay. I don't care about this or that. I don't care if he could even box again, right? I just care that he's, just like the accident. Like, this is no different. It's not for me. My relationship for him, even though we have a working boxing relationship, but I care about him. I don't care if he fights again. I mean, I care that he's okay. I care that he is able to live the life that he wants to live, right? But the guy in him is going to say, I'm going to go get it, right? And I'm still the champ, whatever. I think that's what's going to push him and motivate him, inspire him to, push through this thing and, follow the doctors. That's what it all boils down to, following what the doctor says, right? Doctor says you can't do this, can't do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I think that's the reality of it.
You were a former fighter, and now you train. How does this, how do you approach this as a trainer now, knowing that your fighter had an injury like this?
I mean, you approach it with the understanding of being a former fighter and or being a person, a human being that you know that when you train for something your whole life and the idea of something like this has been on the back of your mind forever, then you get the opportunity to do something like this. So see, we were here when these pictures were pictures of Errol, right? It was like last week, the pictures were of Errol. So I have pictures where took me at the ring and take it outside the building, pictures of Errol. So to have to be able to go through that and to see this is something totally different, So I think that from a fighter's perspective, man, you just deal with it and, you just push on because we're places that we're not supposed to be. It wasn't written that we would be here. We had to push our way to get here. No different than you had to push your way to get here. No different than she had to push her way to get here. So I think that you always say that you believe in yourself because you are a place that you were not supposed to be. There's nowhere written that you're supposed to be right there. You made this happen. You push yourself. You push through every type of adversity. And I think that Errol will do the same. He'll push through all of the adversities and he'll push through everything he needs to push through to get back to where he wants to be. Boxing, that's boxing. If it's not, it's not.
You as a trainer now, are you worried he won't be able to fight because of this? This could maybe be career threatening?
I mean, no. I ain't thought about it because I don't care about it. I mean, if I want him to fight, I want him to do what he want to do, and that's my answer for everything. Like I said, you want him to fight this guy, I want him to fight who he wants to fight. So I want him to be able to live the life that he wants to live. So if he wants to keep boxing, keep boxing. I mean, I think that, but like I said, that all depends upon following the doctor's instructions and orders. That's what it all boils down to. So I think that he'll do that, and I think that he'll be able to recover and get back in the ring. But if that's all I care about is health. The boxing thing is something extra. That's like extra thing, ice cream on the top, right? But the life aspect of it is what the true focus is.
I know it would be speculation, but how were you guys feeling about coming into this fight against Manny Pacquiao? And do you think, how would have that fight turned out with Errol and Manny?
Hey, man, we're feeling good. I think that you got to look at it like this. Like I said, we're not supposed to be in a particular space, but we're in, right? So we know who we are, and we push forward. I mean, we believe in ourselves. I believe in myself. I'm never going man, who's going? I got me. I mean, I don't care who, whatever. I mean, none of that stuff means anything to me, you know what I mean? And so for him, he believes in himself, so I think that it would have been a good fight. I think that I go into the fight seeing competition. I think that you have to see the competitiveness of it because, Pacquiao is a true competitor. You have to be able to say, okay, he's this guy, and you have to remember him as the toughest version of himself, the best version of himself. Because if you see him as anything other than that, you're losing the fight already, because you're already underestimating one of the most successful boxers in boxing history. So I think you have to be able to, regardless of his age, regardless of this or that, I think that you have to continue to respect that aspect of it, have some respect, but listen, that means nothing in the ring, right? You respect him, oh, I like that. That's how he is, like, oh, you're so nice, you're so nice. You get in the ring, trying to kill you. So you have to be that same way with him, the way he is with you.
Given that Manny has hinted this could be the last fight or maybe one more, you guys hopeful that you guys do get a crack at Manny before the end of the year?
I think that, man, listen, put it like this. I hope that we do. I hope that's possible. You never know, but I hope it's possible. I think that, hey, man, you get opportunities, and I mean, it's not like we hadn't seen Errol Spence get a second chance again. He's here now. He's fighting, you know, whatever. What he was fighting, getting ready to fight for this one. So I think that, who's to say he won't get a second chance again? You never know. I hope so, for his sake, you know, because I know he wanted that for his legacy, and we'll see.
Well, there's always Crawford, Porter, you know.
Everybody, yeah. I mean, it's always, I mean, put it like this. Those guys aren't Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you never know. They're bigger names. You know, there's a bigger fish that could be fried. You know, I'm just saying, there's other fighters, and you know, I mean, other fighters in other weight divisions. I mean, you know, that could be possibly happening. So you just never know.
Not hinting at Canelo, are you?
I didn't hit anybody. I just said the bigger fish. I mean, you know, come on, man.
You mentioned different weight class, and he's the biggest fish of them all.
I mean, listen, man. Well, listen, man. I only talk about a guy that talks about us, and never in a bad way. Yeah. You just like, you know, so you just never know. You never know.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.